Welcome back to Breath of the Wild. Now then, from this tower, I think there's a shrine. It's also just this area in general, which is kind of interesting. There's a lot of dry rock, but there is this oasis down here, which I don't think. Hang on. Oh, there's a lot of enemies there, but there is also this. Alright, what can I use to push this thing? Nope. Yeah, this'll work. Stasis. Gotta get it in that hole. I think one hit ought to do it. And maybe two. Oh, two was too much. Oh my. Oh my word. This should do it. Just one hit. I think that was too much again. And maybe I'll write it. Except I can't. And it went over the darn hole. I'll just push it. I remembered, hey, Link can push rocks. It's funny that you can't give Link a different name than what he has. That's an interesting thing you can do with the Zalfos with their electric horns. I don't think it's too much benefit. I guess it'll hurt the other enemies nearby. But that electric shock, the shock wave, will hurt anything, I suppose. I don't want to deal with the Wizrobe. I don't know what it's called besides like what the fire Wizrobe is called. I know there's the Blizzrobe. That's a wonderful pun. And I know there's some that have electricity wands. I don't know what they're called. Ah, there's a shrine. I remembered that one. Because it's just kind of there. Kind of there in the wasteland. Near those fiery Wizrobes. Oh, hang on. I think I see something over there. What do I feast my eyes on? I want to stand. I want to climb. Please. Oh, it's just a rock. I don't think we've seen a, yeah, I don't think we've seen a Korok that shows up or that you have to... So there's one where there's like a little pedestal with a leaf on it. When you stand on it, it will shoot a couple of rings, or a ring, and you have to reach the ring in a given time, which is actually given by the ring itself, because it has like a couple of like spheres that compose the ring, and the spheres, the circles get small when time runs out. So it's an interesting take on, you know, a timer, like a clock ticking down that is in the thing that you have to get to. So that's a really interesting thing, come to think of it. I mean, you know, plenty of games have their, you know, you gotta get through the rings. But that's pretty cool. Ah, there we go. So I forget forget what this was called. It's the golden bows, which I think it says it here. Designed for hunting, engineered to strike distant targets. So yeah, I don't think I really need that here. I'll just use, you know, the old traveler's bow. Just kind of use that up. Oh dear, we got guardians. Granted, it's just a small one. Well, there goes that. And there go a bunch of my arrows, too. I think... Okay, so I think when that other guardian blew up, I guess it just pushed the other stuff out of the way. Maybe it stopped moving. I didn't really entirely fully envision or, I mean, see how that really turned out. Like, Anyway, I'll accept that that sphere going in the hole. That's a lot of trouble off my shoulders. But what is troubling is having to wait for that chest. I can magnesis it over, but I have to let it respawn. Get back on the conveyor belts here. I gotta admit, it's really interesting. All this technology. Technology is amazing, as the guy in the Pokemon games said in Kanto. Well, I think in general, actually, there's always a guy in the first town of a Pokemon game. Except for maybe the new ones, because the new ones are too cool to have cool things like that. But yeah, there's always somebody to say technology is amazing. Point out the nice new feature in the PC or in the Pokegear or whatever. I'm not sure which Pokemon game is my favorite. Lately, I have been playing Heart Gold and Soul Silver quite a few times, really. Like, in the past few years, I played it like 3 times. It's just that... I don't know. I guess I have, like, both nostalgia, and there's also like, it looks good on the DS, and, what else? Also, it has that thing with the menus on the touchscreen. So I paused there. I hope I can keep an eye on that. There's my heart container. Just stopping by here. Be glad that I went through the trouble of editing out not the cutscenes, the loading screens, for the most part. There we go. Let's go to Hestu. I think he's right around the corner here. Okay, so I got those slots going on. Where is he? Oh, okay. It's just kind of standing around. He's a loud one. I never expected a creature this big to be so adorable, but the way he sounds, it's cute. Usually I go for having, like, you know, kind of a straight line of them, you know what I mean? I mean, like... Oh. So, usually I prefer having lines of 5 for all of them. But since we're going at odd angles, you know, when I get electric arrows, shock arrows, the bow assortment will be pretty evened out. You know, it'll be a multiple of 5. Okay, here we are back in on the plateau, just to get a good jumping off point. Because we're going to go south here. We're going to go far south. And we're going to start with this southern trip. We're going to... well, going down there. I'll let you kind of guess where it is. I can't shield surf. Wait. Oh, no, can't. Oh! Well, what do you know? I didn't know this dragon showed up this early. This is, the Farore dragon, I guess? Anyway, what I'm gonna try and do... shot right up and hit it. No. Oh, updraft. Come on, give me another updraft. That's a nice thing about these dragons. You cannot defeat them. There's a shrine. You cannot defeat a dragon, but if you shoot it, you get something nice. Oh no. Ah. Well, there goes my stamina, but... ah, there's a piece of that dragon. So let's just kind of go on down. There we go. I don't know if it showed up, actually. I wasn't paying attention to the location thing, but this is Lake Hylia. Kind of different than it was in the other games, I guess. In a way. I mean, in Ocarina of Time, you know, there was a bridge, but it was like a like a wooden bridge. And in this game, like in Twilight Princess, there is a pretty big bridge. Oh, come on! Oh, thank goodness. Oh, this lake is too big. Oh, and there's even a... So in the distance there, that shining thing is a star piece. Or a star fragment. Get out of here. In fact... no. I didn't mean to pick that. Oh wait, I guess I did. There we go, there's a shield. Shields are important because they are rare. So, what was I saying? Star Fragment has to do with that Xenoblade Chronicles mission, I think. And they're also fairly, you know, they can fetch you a pretty good price. I saw them for quite a bit. Dragon scales are actually quite a pricey thing, quite a bargain, or I mean, quite a not bargain, quite a benefit if you sell them. Since we're, you know, kind of running long on this episode, I'm just gonna cut this one a bit short. Let me just kind of show my first attempt at this, because you know, I don't always think of the right solution per se. I don't know why I say per se so much. So that's that. What you're supposed to do instead of push it like really, really hard, you have to use 2 bombs. One to push the block up, and the other to blow up the rocks up there. And there you have it. And I think it does have to be round and cube. And there you have it. And there you have the chest. Honestly, not really a good shrine. I saw like a review of this game, you know, critical analysis, and I think it's King K, and he said that the shrines, some of them aren't good. Like a third of the shrines